welcome to episode 92 of the ZeensAndRoger crochet vlogcast. Hello, how are you? You're right. I'm okay. It's been a while. I just haven't had the time. It's absolutely bonkers right now. There's so much stuff that I've been up to, crochet wise and non-crochet wise. Like this afternoon I took a car out for a test drive because I need a new car. It absolutely reeked of dog, so I don't want to buy it. It was horrible. And then other crochet things as well. So I've been working on stuff which you may have seen already and you may not have seen, so I will tell you all about it today. I may have to try and record another podcast in a couple of weeks just to go through everything that I've got to talk about, because it's quite a lot. Where are we? It's the 14th of September today. I know that because it's my stepdad's birthday today, but he doesn't know that because he's dead now. But we're going to have a Chinese takeaway for tea to toast him. I might have to go and buy a bottle of wine as well. I'm not sure. Haven't decided because it's a Tuesday and I've got to go to work tomorrow, so I don't want a foggy head. But you know, it's nice to raise a glass for somebody's birthday, isn't it? So I should do that. Yes. Anyway, it's the 14th, and that means in not very many days it is the start of the Mixtape Medley CAL. Have you heard of the Mixtape Medley CAL? Have you? If you follow me on Instagram, then you probably have, or if you follow Hobbycraft or Knitcraft, then you probably have, because I have done a collaboration with them to create a ginormous crochet blanket that is part of a crochet along for the next few weeks. So you too can crochet yourself a massive crochet blanket that's very, very jazzy with lots of different fun stitches, and you can do it with us. I mean, I've already done the massive blanket, so I'm not going to be crocheting myself throughout the weeks. Not a blanket anyway. I'm hoping to make a scarf to see what a scarf version looks like, because I think variety is a good thing. So that's why the blanket has lots of different stitches. And they're all classic stitches as well. So even though together it looks quite wild and I was going to say intimidating, but I think that's wrong. But together it kind of looks like, wow, that's complicated. But all of the stitches that I have used are stitches that you all have used before. So it's not scary, I promise, but it is an opportunity to work up something that is very out there and very noticeable and very modern. I wanted to go modern with the look of it. So I'll try and, maybe if I go like this, maybe I will squeeze in a picture so that you don't have to go anywhere to look at it. You'll just be able to see it. It'll be here. Fingers crossed. It's called Mixtape Medley CAL. Mixtape Medley. It's the size of a single bed. A blanket for a single bed. So it's quite big. But you can jiggery-pokery up the multiples. So you can make it smaller or wider for a double bed if you wanted to. I haven't got it, so I can't show you it apart from the photograph. And I don't know what else to say about it apart from I have written already a draft blog post for it, which I hope to publish in a couple of days. It starts on the 17th and it's a free pattern. It will be available on the Hobbycraft website under the Ideas tab, but I will make sure that I put links and stuff everywhere so that you can find it quite easily through me as well. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I have seen loads of people get their yarn for it already, whether or not it's buying the kits that are the official Hobbycraft Mixtape Medley boxes, which look amazingly jazzy, and I don't have one. But I've seen everybody else share theirs and they look amazing. It's just really exciting. But then other people are also putting together their own palettes, which is wonderful too. So you can do either or. I look forward to seeing what you do. Let me know if you're going to take part. But what else have I been up to? This week, a new issue of Inside Crochet magazine is out. It has a pair of wrist warmers made by me. They're double knit wrist warmers. Maybe if I come back in a couple of weeks, I'll either have them to show or I'll certainly have the magazine. What I'll talk to you next about is Murit magazine. I don't have a copy of that either, so that's another reason why I want to come back sooner rather than later to show off Murit mag. I was talking to my lovely Patreon peeps the other day. We are a small but perfectly formed community, and we get together once a month and chat on Zoom and stuff, as well as Patreon members also get, as often as possible, a free copy every month of one of my patterns and other behind the scenes stuff, depending on which tier you're in, la-di-da-di-da. But anyway, the top tier group, we meet up every month to have a bit of a chinwag. And one of those people, Jenny, she has taught me how to pronounce the shawl name. It's my shawl, and I can't pronounce the name of my shawl. If only she were here, because I like literally I've asked her the last 2 months, how do you say it, Jenny? How is it again? But then if I say it, I can't help almost doing an impression of her, which is wrong. I want to be able to pronounce it myself. But the shawl that is in issue 1 of Murit that I have designed, so an ode to the granny, it looks like it's called Gudrun, but that's not how you pronounce it, because that's not very eloquent or delicate. I think it's Gudrun, but Jenny in her Swedish accent says it far more beautifully than I do. I think it's Gudrun, which is a beautiful name. It is called that because a group of us ages ago now, it feels like a really, really long time ago, a group of designers having a Zoom chat, talking about design, what it's like to be a designer, all the troubles and the successes of what it's like to be an independent designer working on your Todd, and all that jazz. We were getting together, and I think at that time, I have told you a little bit about this, because when we were having our Zoom meeting, it was me, I remember me, Faye from the Crochet Circle podcast, Dora Michelle from Dora Explored, and Alison, who is the brains behind Murit, and Lily Kate, I think, was there as well. And we were having a get together. The postman knocked on the door of Alison's house, and he delivered my shawl to Alison, and we all watched on Zoom as she opened it. And I have to say that it was a moment of sheer, like, all these prestigious designers are watching my shawl being opened. And they might, the look on their faces might have been like, oh, is that all she's done for like this elite high-end crochet magazine that is supposed to be like no other, will be like no other, by the way. It's amazing. And then my design's going to be in it. What if it's rubbish? Anyway, I don't think it is rubbish. I love it. I'm really pleased with the design. Gudrun. I shouldn't even bother trying, should I? Especially when I say it in such an uncertain, stupid British way. So everybody was there, and I started talking about the woes of the woes and troubles of struggling to find a name for it. I just couldn't think of anything. And so we were talking about it amongst ourselves, and I threw out a couple of my ideas that were a bit lame, I have to say. And from those conversations, like, well, I think it was Faye that went, Super Gran. Do you remember Super Gran? when I was a kid, Super Gran was one of the must-watch TV programmes for kids on British telly. Do you know, I can't even remember the storylines of these programmes other than that this Gran was basically a complete badass. But she was also Scottish, so that was the connection. Not only do we have a Granny Stitch inspired shawl, there's also the Scottish connection, which is very much integral to the ethos of Morit. The aesthetic of Morit is that it's inspired by Scotland and all things Scottish. Well, it turns out, and we did think, oh no, you can't have a pattern in Morit called Super Gran. You just can't. So a couple of days later, Alison came back to me and she said, what about Gudrun? Gudrun. And I was just like, I like it. I like it a lot. And Gudrun, I hope I'm saying that right, is the name of the actress who played Super Gran. So it's perfect. And I've totally forgotten the storyline though behind Super Gran. I just know, like, literally when I missed it, I was always really disappointed because it's kind of, it was on at the cusp of, if you don't get home from school in time to switch on BBC and watch it, or whatever channel it was on, probably BBC, then you've missed that episode and you've probably missed it forever and it's gone. I think you can still watch it on YouTube. So that is the name of the Morit shawl, and that is why it's called, in a very long-winded sort of way, that is why it's called that. Because it's the name of the actress who played Super Gran, and the shawl is a Granny Stitch. Sorry that took so long. So that's the story. I hope to show off more in magazine next time, but you may well have seen it everywhere anyway. But I mean, it doesn't hurt to show it again, does it? More on that another day. Where are we? I'm just checking my notes because there are extensive notes written, and I'm going to pick and choose what I talk about because otherwise we'll be here forever. And I don't want to like not have anything to talk about next time. So, quick heads up as well. Since the last time I've released 2 patterns that have been in magazines previously. So that's the Baskerville Cowl and the Ticking Mitts. So if you are interested in either of those, I'm now selling them as PDF patterns as their own thing each. So that's a pair of wrist warmers and a beautiful houndstooth stitch cowl. I'll show you a quick finished object next. One that I made just because I was in between. I'd finished lots of things and I was yet to start lots of things, and I felt stuck in the middle, and I also felt like that was a horrible feeling, and I just needed something mindless or mindful to kind of get out of that horrible stuck zone. So I got out all my stash and I made a cowl just because. So this is my Granny Cowl pattern that you've probably seen, and maybe you've made it as well. It was the front cover of Molly Makes magazine a couple of years ago, and now I sell it in all my places. This one is made from a load of odds and sods, mostly 4-ply actually. With some, I think, probably some sport weight in there as well. The original pattern though is actually for double knit. So I added a couple of extra rows before I did the shaping, but actually it only just fits with those couple of additional rows to compensate for it being 4-ply, not double knit. I could have afforded to add a couple more rows before the shaping. But as it is, it does fit quite nice and snugly. which means it will keep my neck warm when it gets a bit chillier. It's still quite muggy and warm on most days. In the mornings are cold, but still not neckwear weather. But isn't that a smashing combo of colours? I'm really pleased. And some of them I just worked until I ran out. So that grey, there's a lot of this grey because it was just a small ball and I thought, why would I keep any of it? I may as well just use it all. So I did that for that. And then I think I used up all of this green as well. That's all gone. But at least it is now forever in this project. But you can see as well, like, so you've run out, so you stop and then you just start a new yarn. But the pattern is available in all the usual places, as I said. But I just really like this version because it's so jazzy. But you could wear a whole black outfit or a neutral outfit and then have this on, and it still wouldn't be completely too much and blinding because it's only around your neck, it's nowhere else. So that's a wearable one for me. Sometimes I make things and I go, no, I'll never wear that in a million years. And I either gift it or put it in a bag and put it in the cupboard and then forget I've got it. But I had pleasure when I made it, whatever the thing was, you know. What else? Oh yeah, I'm not going to talk to you about the jumper I'm making down there, but I am going to talk to you about another jumper. Shall I show you now? Oh, and you. I've got you as well. Oh, and you. Look, I talked about this briefly last time, but I've barely started it, so I think I'll save it for another day. Like, look, I've only done that much, which is hardly any. It's going to be, hopefully, a jumper, as long as I don't give up. I'm in a bit of a jumping about mood at the minute, so that there's so many things that I want to make that I keep starting them all and then finding another thing again. So I already had 4 or 5 things on the go, and then 2 days ago I had another idea and it trumped everything. I drove to the shop yesterday to buy the wool, and then I made a start and I'm halfway through the panel of a jumper already. But I'm going to save that one till next time because I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'm having fun making it. I'll come back to you on it. But in the meantime, to compensate the tease, let me show you another jumper I'm working on, which I was going to save again because I'm not ready to show it off. It's very much a prototype. Let me show you because I failed. I didn't buy. I was gifted this stuff. I was gifted. Back when I was an ambassador for King Cole, I asked for a jumper quantity of these colours, and I got it. They were very nice. They gave it to me. This is when they gave this to me right at the end of the ambassador programme when they told me it had been disbanded. Men gave me the yarn anyway. So I feel like I have to see this through, no matter how long it takes. And I did get offered to a lovely start before I realised that I'd done all the maths wrong, because I hadn't actually done the maths at all. I just made up the numbers in my head and thought, it'll be all right. It's never all right. You do actually have to work quite hard to work things out. But I still think I know better. So anyway, instead of flapping it around, it's a jumper, worked from the top down. See, this looks so much nicer than what I'm going to have to do. But because of the shoulder shaping and how this is, if I work the raglan style, it's going to become way too wide before I need to attach the sleeves. Although I may just try it anyway, but I've got a feeling it's going to be too wide. Which is why I abandoned it and I've changed the maths on it. But now I look at it now, I'm thinking, oh, maybe it will be all right, actually. We shall see. But I've been thinking about this for months and months and months. And I knew the maths would be hard, so I put it off, put it off, put it off. But still, even though I've been thinking about it for a long time, I haven't been working spreadsheets or anything like that properly. I just know I want a decent rib. Be careful. I need a jumper with decent ribbing around the neck, please. So anyway, this is version 1, and I abandoned this weeks ago because I thought it'd be too. I can already tell it's beyond my pits, you know. I've got plenty of wool to revisit that colour combination, okay, and also the depth of that neck. But I've started again. Let me bring it over. I've got a bit further this time. Where's all the yarn? But I'm still unsure. So I have deepened. It's really hard to tell because I think this will block much bigger anyway, and actually I need to go back to the drawing board again. We are talking months as usual. You know, these things take me such a long time to work out. I'm still not overly happy with it. This is a different yarn this time. It's West Yorkshire Spinners Bo Peep, and I've got a feeling that if this blocked it would stretch to the max. But I've deepened, as you can see, I've deepened the ribbing around the neck so that I'm not going too wide when making the raglan style. But I think these sleeves, again, they need some decreasing under the pits, and I started decreasing here, but I think maybe I need to decrease a little bit here and a little bit under. This is where I just like making stuff. Maths isn't my strong point, but then it means that I go wrong and have to do things multiple times. But I don't want fitted sleeves though, that's the thing. I do want them to be quite big so I can balloon them, but I don't know if that's too big. And also the fact that my upper arms are much scrawnier than the average upper arm. So I've got to compensate for that, you know. But is that too much? I need to get my tape measure out. Anyway, I thought I'm just going to point out as well that this ribbing I have used with special permission from Jormy from My Square Hat, because I've basically found this ribbing from her patterns, and I believe that she came up with it just by doing tinkering alone. She has never found it anywhere else, so arguably it's her invention. I think it's important that I tell you that, because and I asked her directly because I felt like to just take it would be wrong. But it does offer a smash-in crochet rib. So I don't think I'm there yet. I think this sleeve is too deep. I do have some rudimentary maths scribbled down in note form, and I haven't actually compared the two, so I don't know how off I am yet. But you know what it's like when you get to this point, you think, that's never going to do it. It's never going to be big enough. I'll do a few more stitches. Well, that's what happened. And I wonder actually if I would have had plenty if I'd an earlier stage. So for this one, it's going to be main body grey, and then I'm going to do 3 stripes, 3 stripes, 3 stripes, and then I've got, so it's basically it's this colour combo. So I had this in stash. I bought it a few months ago, I think maybe for Christmas. I had a gift voucher, and I think I bought this with the intention of doing a shawl or a different jumper or somebody else's jumper, and I've decided to to work on this design instead. But please don't pinch the idea and release something before me. It's going to take me a really long time. Or if you see somebody else do something similar, you go, "Oi, no, I know somebody else that's doing that actually." I think this is again is going to be too big, and we shall see. We shall see. It's really difficult because I want there to be shoulder shaping here, but there needs to be enough neck space here. But also, if I drop here and here, it's not going to create the look I want. I think if I get this right, then it's a doozy, you know? It'll be really good. I just have to get it right, and that will take a bit of concentration. But the thing is, my head is being turned left, right and centre at the moment, so I'm not allowing myself focus. Maybe focus should be my 2021 word, because this year has been all about balance. Not that I have words for years, I think that's a bit daft. Or is it? I don't know, because balance has been very much accurate this year. But that's just a little insight. That's, by the way, you know, already a lot of work. And I think I'm probably going to have to do another version as well to get it just right. And then I've got another jumper on the go. I just started yesterday. And I'll show you this work in progress as well. Which is, I've realised I've just annoyed myself by quitting or putting it down. When did I work on this last Saturday? I'm now at the halfway point. This is my peak. This is my point. Do you like it? I do. I like it very much. I am holding together a 4-ply hand-dyed yarn and a lace weight mohair. I think it's going to be almost a full, oh no, I'd say full, I'm at the halfway point and I've got that much left of 100 grams, and this is my second 100 grams caked and ready to go. Fly dyed yarns, ductile it's called. Hide my face. Does it focus? No, it doesn't focus. Of course it doesn't. Come on, focus, 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 focus. It's fly dyed yarn. That's Rachel. She's a hand dyer. And when did I buy this? February? It still smells nice, but that gorgeous smell that it when I opened up the package when I bought it, it smelled absolutely beautiful from the wool wash, and it's faded now. I'm gutted. I've got a feeling it is a one-of-a-kind dye, but this yarn has been perfect for crochet. No colour pooling or anything like that. It's just been lovely. Those speckles are evenly placed. It's fabulous. Do tell me if it's focusing, won't you? Now, I don't know what to call this shawl because in my head it's called Fields of Wheat. But I don't think I can allow myself to call it Fields of Wheat. Unless you think it's a good idea. I just imagine Theresa May frolicking through the fronds of her late summer evening before the combine harvester comes along and just destroys everything. But maybe I was thinking also along the lines of maybe something to do with work. I think because Rachel, I'm sure she said that her dad worked in a steelworks factory, and that's where the name ducktail comes from. And I was wondering if I could do something linked to that, but then I don't know, because I can't get that out of my head that these are wheat. It's like a wheat stitch, isn't it? I don't know what its actual name is, but if you type in wheat stitch crochet into the internet, this sort of thing does come up, but not a shawl like this, thankfully. So yes, I did have a suggestion of barley. The barley shawl, because it's like a sheep, but it's barley. I don't know. I could whiz through that, and that could be my next release, really, because actually it's quite a quick one. But it's been the in-between project. When the maths gets too hard, I just pick that up instead. But I have to say that was hard to work out as well. But once I cracked the code, it was beautiful to just to work on. But I did find, and you might find this useful, you might not, depends what hook you use. I've been using 2 hooks recently that are both 4mm. I'm just seeing if I can find it now. Where is it? I probably lost it, but I have. No, I haven't. I can't find the one for that one, but basically, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. You probably can't see this at all. I've got no idea. I've got a feeling the focus is not on these hooks, but we shall see. But hopefully it's enough for you to see a little bit that there's a slight difference. This one is more roundy than this one. This one's got a better taper on it and a better hooky bit. I don't know the terms. The differences are subtle, but they're there, meaning that I found this rounded hook was an absolute bum hole for making puff stitches, whereas the one that was slightly more pointy, they glide through it beautifully. So if you're ever struggling with either splittiness or struggling to pull through on certain yarns, just try swapping your hook, just to see, because it might well make your life easier. It might make your life harder, I don't know, but just try it and see. I've never really concentrated on the anatomy of a hook, and I've not really taken much notice of it, and most of the things I do, it doesn't really make a difference. But there'll be some projects where actually it might have an effect. Oh my god, I wonder where you are. Hey, guess what I did? I went to the Honiton Lace Museum in the summer holidays. I took the kids. Poor kids. It was actually quite interesting. They weren't too bad. For some reason, and maybe it's got something to do with lace. So can you even see the hook on that? This is a 0.6mm. Basically, this is cotton thread, and I made a granny square out of sewing thread using a 0.6. I just thought I'd show you that because I thought it was cute. I'd love to make loads of them and do a beautiful blanket, or a dolly blanket or a massive blanket. Jesus Christ, I haven't got that much long to live. Oh no, that makes it sound like I don't. I mean, basically, I'd probably still be making it when I was 102. I totally, well, you know, if you did get lots of people making it, which is what they did with Honiton lace, loads of people, something like that. If that was actual Honiton lace, that might take 20 hours to make a piece that big. Isn't that nuts? This is crochet, so it didn't, but it did take me quite a while. Anyway, thought I'd squeeze that in. So that's that must be, and that was a long time ago. So I can't have recorded a podcast for a very long time. And I would also like to request something in my garden. Oh, it's next door. That was weird. Just a favour actually. You know, in a free way to support a designer. And not just me, you could do it for everybody, but one, if you fancy following me on Pinterest, then that's awesome. But even if you don't, if you could pin some of my stuff, I will leave my Pinterest, I'll leave a link to my Pinterest stuff in my show notes. And if you could just go and pin some bits, if that's all right, just to try and get my stuff out there a bit. Because some of them, like, I think, well, that's cool. Surely that'll go viral. But it doesn't. And that's because nobody sees it. But if a few more people saw the things, then maybe it would get a bit more traction. So it's just a bit of a favour. But there are lots of ways you can support designers, even if you haven't got the bucks. The bucks? I'm not American. If you don't have the pennies or the pounds, you can still support designers for free, even if it's just sharing the work, shouting out on whichever platform you feel most comfortable on. Facebook. I'm not a big Facebook user, but I do have Facebook. Or, you know, saving stuff on Insta. So that's my beg of the week. But it does help, I promise. And it is also really, a really nice boost for those that need it. I think we're probably all right with that, aren't we? Are we all right with that much chatting? What I would like to also show you, but I might, shall I save it? I've bought new yarn and also I've been gifted new yarn. I'll show you some new yarn, but not all of it. Oh, and Janine, Janine, the postman brought a parcel today, but I was out test driving a car and choosing IKEA kitchens. So I have to go back to the post office and get it tomorrow. But I can't because I'm at work. I'm going to quit my job. I hate my job now. I think I know better about how to be a crochet designer, that maybe I could like push that a bit more. Like I'm more prioritisy, I'm less procrastinating, and I know more than I did a couple of years ago. Maybe I could do have enough for a part-time income that means that I need a job. I still need a job, but maybe just not that one. I hope nobody from work's watching. I hate my job, all right. I used to love it. Circumstances have made me change my mind. Do you love your job? Like, do you love your job? Anywho, thank you to Janny who bought me this. It's beautiful. And I think it should go in a jumper. I still don't know if this camera focuses that way, but it would look really good with this bright, bright pink that Janine sent to me. Stop sending me parcels, Janine. But not only that, but yeah, Janine did go bonkers, and she's been asking for my address for a couple of years, and I've gone, no, it's okay. Honestly, I don't want a present I promise it'll be fine. You just having your support, it's fine. Don't send me a present. And then she got hold of my address and that was it. Thank you, Janine. Look, very seasonal. I've got myself a new project bag that's been handmade by somebody in Canada from Polka Dot Creek. And I have to do something with this. Look, this is also Polka Dot Creek, but look, mohair. And this is great for my mohair kit right now. I am collating loads of information about working with mohair. So whether or not it's held double like the shawl, or just lace weight on its own like that blue top that I'm going to make. The chunky cardigan, the stripy one that I talked about last episode, that's mohair. And then also I'm going to try out some brushed alpaca as well. Even stuff like, I mean, this has got brushed alpaca in it. So this is a sort of an Aran chunky. So maybe I'll include all those kind of floofy yarns. But I want a sort of a blog post to bring it all together with hints and tips. But I need to at least make one more thing, have it finished before I do that. But and then because it's Halloween next month, I got, isn't that amazing? Somebody's handmade this. The J hook. I don't know what a J is, but I can find out quite easily. I think it might be a 6. I don't know. Pumpkin on it. What a spoiled person I am. But more projects to work on, hey? This video is 29 minutes and I've got another, maybe 2 other ones that I'm going to smush together. God knows how long this is going to be. But I have to go and get my little one from school now. So I hope you are well. And I will hope to be back maybe in a couple of weeks this time. Maybe not like a really long episode, but maybe one that's under half an hour. Let me try and get one in that's under half an hour. I could just gabble too much. That's my problem. I'm very good at it. It might not be entertaining, but I'm just good at gabbling. Right. Let me just check my notes because I think that's it. Anyway, what are you working on? How are you? What have you been up to? Are you cross with me for leaving it so late? Does it mean that you're now going to bin me off? I mean, maybe I would. Maybe I'd be cross with me too. I do have other things I'm going to talk about maybe next time. Oh, spot. Let me know if you can make Mixtape Medley. I really want to see. This is the first time I've done something this big before, or it feels quite big. And it was a lot of work, and it was a very interesting experience actually, and one that I found really valuable, and lots of new things I tried that I'd never done before, which is brilliant. It's always good to kind of step outside your comfort zone, and I really did it for this one. But I think as well I stepped up to the plate. I'm going to paint my nails when I get back from school, pick up, because I haven't done it for a while. They look like they needed. I will try and write a newsletter soon as well. I set it up, finally, ages ago now, but I haven't actually written my first newsletter. I better get on with that. This is it. If I quit my job, then I'll have time to do all these things, won't I? It feels like a good idea right now to quit my job. Or maybe I'll just get another one. Why am I doing this now? I'm going to scuff these nails, aren't I? Stop it. Put the thing down. Everybody's quitting the job they hate to pursue their dreams, but if everybody pursues their dreams... Right. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again sooner rather than later this time. I promise. I hope you're all right. Speak to you again soon. Bye.